Okay, we're recording right now.
Alright, so yeah, I was in the Statehouse today. Joined a tour with these kids that was part of an alternative school, like an ROTC type school, I guess. And these guys are just a bunch of realistically social dissidents themselves. And I was in the House of Representatives room. And I was sitting there, and the lady is explaining, oh, these are where all the lawmakers are, and all this kind of thing. And then one of the lawmakers comes in, and she says, right there's a lawmaker. Does anyone have any questions for her? And she's all smiling, perked up, and all with her paperwork. And I said, yeah, I got a question. How many bribes have you accepted? And the lady just went pale, stone sour, and turned right back down, sat back down in her chair, and started taking her paperwork and just started filling out her paperwork. And they said, do you think that was an appropriate question? I said, of course it was. And the guy who was heading their tour, he said, really? I said, of course. And I looked back, and the lady giving the tour said, I don't think that was quite the most appropriate time to ask that question. I said, well, of course it was. I feel it was. When am I going to get a better chance? She says, well, you could call her, send her a letter, ask her out on the street. I said, she's not going to answer me on the street. I said, there's no better opportunity than now. Like, she's not going to return my phone calls. She's not going to return my letters. And then they finished up the tour in there, and we went in the justice office, the courtroom in there. And they say you can't take your sign in there. And I argued with them while all the kids were walking in there. I was raising a huge stink about that.
Because you have to have a sign on you.
I have to have, the sign on me to be protesting. And luckily I have a few things wrote on the back of my coat, so I might have been able to get away with it for that. But I didn't feel more naked the whole day than sitting in that room for that 5 minutes while they were talking about that. And I sat in there and asked a few more questions, not really relevant to much. When I get out, there's 3 state troopers waiting for me, and I grabbed my sign immediately from behind the desk. And they said we're going to have you, you're going to have to leave the tour. I said I don't have to leave the building. They said, no, you just have to leave the tour because the leader of the tour, she feels that you are being threatening and disruptive to the group. And I said, what are you talking about? Because I asked a question, and I could see the officers getting pretty anxious. And I'm thinking, three state troopers versus me. Well, I'll just play the bullshit game. So I talked with them, let them finish up what they had to say, and walk out. And I'm walking out, and it's 4 state troopers following me out of the building and walk down to the street with me, and then they walk over to this parked car that was parked right over by this light pole over here, and they stand there for a while. A few of them split off. One jumps in the car, and they sit there for about 10 minutes just sitting in the car watching me, and then they all drive off and leave, and then I just walked right back in the building and went about my business.
Live from the Indiana Statehouse. We are the champions!
Did we get